Tonight, you will probably sit in front of a screen playing a fireplace video. No heat, no smoke, just orange light flickering in a loop, and somehow you will still stare at it for longer than you meant to. That seems harmless. A little strange, maybe, but the real answer is far stranger than you think. You're not staring at light, you're staring at the oldest survival tool your species ever found. Your brain just doesn't know the difference between a campfire on the savannah and a video file on a laptop. Here's the part nobody tells you. Fire changed the shape of the human brain before it ever lit a single hearth in a village. Around 1.5 million years ago, early humans started controlling flame instead of fearing it. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham calls this the cooking hypothesis. He argues that cooked food gave early humans more usable calories from the same amount of food. More calories meant more energy available for the brain. And the brain is expensive. It burns roughly 20% of your body's total energy, just sitting in your skull, doing nothing but think. So why does that matter for a video playing on a screen tonight? Because the part of your brain that finds fire impossible to ignore is ancient. It was shaped long before there were screens, before there were houses, before there was language as you know it. That part of your brain is still doing its job. It just doesn't know the danger isn't real anymore. Let's go back further. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a clearing 200,000 years ago. The sun has gone down. There are no streetlights. There is no moon tonight. The only light for miles comes from the flames in front of you. Every predator that wants to eat you is more dangerous in the dark. Every threat you cannot see is closer than you think. Now watch what fire does. It pushes the darkness back. It keeps the animals at a distance. It lets your group sleep without taking turns on watch every single hour. Fire was not decoration. Fire was the difference between dying at night and surviving until morning. Your brain learned something from that. Watch the fire and you are safe. Stop watching and you might not be. That single lesson, repeated across hundreds of thousands of nights, it did not disappear just because streetlights exist now. It got built into the wiring instead. In 2014, anthropologist Christopher Lynn at the University of Alabama ran an experiment most people have never heard of. He sat participants in front of a screen showing either a calm flame or a campfire with the crackling sound removed, and measured their blood pressure before and after. The fire group showed a real drop in blood pressure the longer they watched, not because the fire did anything, because their bodies registered the flame as a cue, and that cue said, "Relax, you are protected." Isn't that strange? Your blood pressure responding to a flame on a screen the same way it might respond to an actual fire on actual ground. But there's a piece of this story that's even harder to believe. Fire didn't just keep you alive, it changed what you talked about. Anthropologist Polly Wiessner studied the hoansi people of the Kalahari for decades. She recorded what people talked about during the day compared to what they talked about at night around the fire. Daytime conversation was practical. Complaints, disputes, who owes who what. Nighttime conversation, lit only by flame, shifted into something else entirely. Stories, myths, tales about ancestors, animals, distant relatives, the dead. Wiessner published this work in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in 2014, and her conclusion was direct. Firelight didn't just illuminate the group, it changed the kind of thinking the group was capable of. Daylight keeps your mind on tasks. Firelight somehow opens a door into imagination. Think about what that means. The fire is not only a source of safety, it is the original stage, the first screen humans ever stared into, long before there was anything to project onto it except their own minds. You can probably already feel where this is going. Every habit you have today that looks like nothing, late night scrolling, staring at a video with no plot, sitting silently in front of a screen with people you love but barely speaking, all of it has a flicker of that same ancient pattern buried inside it. Researcher Frank Marlowe, who studied the Hadza hunter-gatherers of Tanzania, noticed something almost identical to Wiessner's findings an ocean away. Different continent, different language, different culture entirely, and yet the same shift happened once the fire was lit. Conversation slowed down, stories appeared, people stopped working and started imagining. That repetition across unrelated cultures is not a coincidence. It is evidence. Evidence that fire didn't just give humans heat and protection, it gave them a nightly ritual that rewired how groups bonded, how stories were passed down, and eventually how entire belief systems were born. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. You inherited every piece of that wiring. The instinct to relax near flickering light, the pull toward stories told in low light, the strange comfort of staring at something glowing in an otherwise dark room. None of that vanished when electricity arrived. It just found new fuel. Your phone screen flickers blue light instead of orange. Your streaming queue replaced the storyteller at the fire. Your living room replaced the clearing in the dark. But the brain underneath all of it is running code that is at least 200,000 years old, and quite possibly older. Why do you think candlelight dinners feel more intimate than dinners under fluorescent light? Why does a horror movie feel scarier the moment the lights go off? Why is staring into a fireplace, even a fake one streaming through a television, oddly hypnotic when staring at a blank wall is not? It is the same ancient signal every time. Low light plus a flickering source equals attention, equals safety checking, equals the deep, old part of your brain, quietly whispering, stay close, stay watching, you are not in danger right now. Modern life buried the danger. It did not erase the wiring. There's something almost moving about that if you sit with it long enough. Every time you light a candle without thinking about why, every time you choose a dim lamp over a bright overhead light, every time you find yourself unable to look away from a flame in a fire pit at a backyard gathering, you are doing something your ancestors did for hundreds of thousands of nights before you were ever born. You're not relaxing by accident. You're relaxing because something inside you remembers exactly what that glow used to mean. So tonight, when you sit down and that fireplace video starts looping on your screen again, you will know something most people never stop to ask. You are not bored. You are not wasting time. You are running an inheritance test passed down from every human who ever needed the fire to survive the dark. And somehow, even now, your body still remembers how to pass it